Alright, hello everybody out there on YouTube. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to my 2 subscribers that I have, both of you. It's very nice to have you subscribing to my channel. I'm glad that something I said impacted you in some way, or affected you, made you feel something, or think something, or that you just agree with me or disagree with me, whatever the case may be. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to be in contact with you. I'd like to be in contact with as many people as I can because the world needs contact to make it go around. We all have to get to know each other, otherwise we're never going to get anywhere if we don't do it together. Alright, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of things I see every day, things that sadden me, and that's kind of where I'm at today. I'd like to talk about the things that sadden me. The hatred, the racism, the just general ignorance toward other people and cultures. A big thing that I'd like to talk about tonight is some things that I've been seeing, watching videos about the Proposition 8, the ban on gay marriages in California, which, as I've made another video about homosexuality entitled, Does Homosexuality Scare You? But I'd like to, some of the comments I've been seeing on YouTube, especially things about, particular comments about gay people being a race. First of all, race is a bad word to use, okay? The fact of the matter is, nobody on this planet is of a different race. We're all human beings. That's what we are. That is a race. Another race would be some alien race, an extraterrestrial race from another planet. The better thing are to say species. Just like all animals are species. Those would be different races. Race is a word that people use, mostly people in power or religious groups or what have you, that would want us to be divided and not be a people. They would want us to be different races, so there would have to be something different about us. But the actuality behind that is, there's nothing different about any of us. There's no genetic differences that can be found. The differences in color of skin, things like that, those are all cosmetic, and they come from where our people evolved from in different regions of the world. If enough of your people lived in a certain region of the world for long enough, you would change eventually. The black people have more melanin in their skin because their people evolved in a part of the world where there was lots of sunlight and it was extremely hot. So in order to keep from being scorched and burned, their skin had to adapt and become darker, have more melanin in it so they can't burn. Same with white people. If you look at the Nordic people from very cold places, their skin was very light colored to help absorb light, to absorb warmth, because it was a survival mechanism. Same reason they grew more hair on their bodies. It's just evolution. That's all that is that makes us different. But inside, when it comes down to the base things that make us up, we are all the same, as are all things in the universe. We're all made from the same things, and we all share the same energy on Earth. And you hurt yourself by trying to take that energy away from yourself or from anyone else. So race, that's just a stupid thing to say. Stupid argument to even make about how we're different races, because we're not. We're all human beings, and that's a horrible thing to do, is try to bring race into it. Another thing, as I've spoken before, I make no secret of it, of how I feel about religion and religious beliefs, especially that of Christianity. And people who say that God thinks it's wrong or bad for you to be gay, that's just a completely ridiculous statement. And I'd just like to say to anybody who's of any major religious belief, be you Christian, Catholic, Muslim, whatever, try to discover where your religion came from. That's the base thing. Understand that all these religions came from same indigenous-based beliefs, which were all based on something else. I'm not going to tell you what it was. That's on you to do the research and find out. But if you find out where it comes from, you're going to see the world in a whole different light. But you've got to let go of everything that you've been programmed to believe, because it's going to get you nowhere. And I want to say that I love everybody. And for those of you that think that I'm just some kind of peacenik, hippie type, that's far from it. If you did know me, which I hope that people can get to know me, you would know where I come from. And that I have not always been an understanding person. I used to be very angry and violent for a number of reasons that Some my own fault and some not. Some just because of living in this world, and when people are trying to control you and other entities are trying to control you, it turns you into something worse. And I see things every day that just make me so sad for the entire world, and it's hard for me to deal with that, really. Sometimes I want to get angry right away. I just want to lash out, and just, especially racist, there's that part of me that just wants to go start cracking skulls, man. And when I was younger, that was how I would have handled it. Nowadays, all I can feel is sadness and compassion because you're so confused. And any bigot or racist or hate monger or fear monger, you're all so confused. And I feel so sad for all of you. These are just my opinions, and you're welcome to voice yours. I don't even really know where to go with this. This is just some simple thoughts. I mean, I have my own spiritual beliefs, and I think spirituality is wonderful. Because if you look at the essence of spirituality, we are all connected. We are all one. We are all God. We are all God's children. We are God in whatever form you take it is all the same God. It is the infinite consciousness that flows between us all. And when we're all connected, we can feed off of that together, and it makes us stronger. But separated, we are weak. And we continue to be weak as long as we stay separated. Like I said, it's easy to get off track when talking about something like this. The fact that I got to make these videos in under 10 minutes is so hard to even try to give a little bit of the concept for people to grasp. One of these days, I'm going to expand more on my spiritual beliefs. I don't know that now is the time for it. But if anybody's interested in knowing what those are or having dialogue and contact, I'd be more than happy to share that with you, as I'd be happy to learn about yours and what makes you believe in it. I just want to say that terrible things are done in the name of God and religion and beliefs and government, and these horrible things don't have to go on, but it's on everybody, all of us, to get together and stop that from happening. And we can't force anybody else to think differently than they do. That's on them. They have to be ready to wake up and experience these things for themselves. I will say there are a lot of confused people out there, and I don't hate you. I just feel bad for you, and I hope that one day you can come to the place where I am and escape the chains that are holding you back, like the violence, the racism in Russia that we learn about every day. I know that's not all Russians, and it's horrible what's going on there, but just remember that happened before here in America, and for the most part it's stomped out. And thank you to the American youth for waking up and coming free of these chains. You are the next generation, the future, who will save us. And in 10 years, hopefully things change and we can lose all the bigotry. There's always going to be those who try to hold us all back. But just try to think about it this way. We're all one people, and if you do the research to find out where we all come from, you'll find out that we're all the same. And all these religions and beliefs that people put so much stock in are confused, skewed versions of where it all originally came from in the most ancient of times. So just do some research, people. Open your minds a little bit. Expand a little bit. Smoke something if you have to. I mean, that's a great way to open up your mind. Like the stigma that we put on drugs that is mostly false. Most of the things they tell you are bad for you. In the 30s, they told people that smoking marijuana would make them go crazy and kill their family members. Anybody who's ever smoked marijuana knows that is completely ridiculous, which is why they stopped showing that kind of propaganda. And then they try to turn it into a health issue in this day and age. And dude, there's more tar or resin in a joint, or in one joint, that there is in 4 cigarettes. Yet marijuana has never caused cancer. Why is that? It's because it's not what they tell us is unhealthy. It's what they don't tell us, like the 600 some odd chemicals that they put in cigarettes. I mean, people just use some common sense. Open your minds and look around. See what's out there. See something bigger, please. I love you all, and I hope to hear from some of you. I hope I get more subscribers. And as I said, thank you to the 2 that I do have. I'm glad that I reached you in some way, and I hope to continue reaching you. Peace.